Now, I do want to first acknowledge that this was, I believe, a matter where there was a default because you failed a timely, Ms. Fluellen was alleged to fairly timely answer. However, she had put in a notice to court requesting a hearing, indicating that she didn't get notice. But I want to talk about that. But before I do that, I just want to understand the basics of the case here. So, Ms. Goodrich, tell me, is there a written or an oral lease between Oracle Atlanta and Ms. Fluellen?
Written.
Okay. And when is this lease set to expire, or has it expired?
Today.
It expires today. Okay, the last one. And how much is monthly rent?
$14.50.
All right. And is there a late fee?
$100.
All right. And last time the tenant paid any rent?
It was December the 1st.
So you're saying she owes for January, February, and then essentially 3 months, 7 days?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I do not see anything else on the, hold on. All right, I see your utilities and everything on there. Have you since supplied the court with any of the, any documentation or proof of those damages?
Yes.
Well, I'm talking about Ms. Goodrich. Did you guys for the utilities allegations?
Did she provide me with what? I'm sorry.
Did you submit any evidence like proof of the bills or anything for the utilities?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, then, Ms. Fluellen, I just want to address quickly here. Initially, you indicated that you didn't get notice of the hearing. How did you find out about this court case?
Because I went in the office and spoke with her. She told me she didn't know the date to call you all, or that you all will mail a date out to me, or go call the courthouse and see if I had a date. So I never did receive a date, so I ended up calling down there. And they told me it was filed all the way back in February, I think.
Yeah,
and that I had missed it.
Okay. Yeah, it says you were served on the 3rd of February. However,
Yes,
you didn't get any, you just didn't have any knowledge until, and didn't file this notice until March. Okay.
Right. And so as soon as I found out, I came the next day to the courthouse.
Okay. All right. And I do, like I said, it was tacked mail. Not sure. Is there anyone else that lives at the property with you?
Yeah, I have 2 daughters and a son.
And are they minors?
17, 18.
Okay.
And 3, yes, a 3-year-old.
All right. So I want to confirm you have a written lease with Oracle Atlanta?
I'm sorry?
You have a written lease with Oracle Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay. And
I don't know about Oracle Atlanta. I just know Swift Creek and Ambien.
Okay, Swift Creek. I understand. I understand. And how much is that monthly rent?
$14.50.
Is there a late fee that you're aware of?
I'm sure it's a late fee, but I didn't know the amount, so I guess the $100 that she just said.
Okay. All right. And last time you paid rent?
December.
Okay. All right. I did see here that you also submitted some evidence to the court regarding some issues with the property. Tell me about that.
So I moved in this property. It was not ready for moving. Me and my kids have been going through a lot. I lost 3 months worth of food when I first moved in. A couple of months after I moved in, my car was hit outside by another tenant. I want to say a month after that, my car was stolen right in front of my door. And I don't know, I just been going through a lot in this unit. Like, it wasn't inhabitable. I went weeks without water in the kitchen while they fixed the leak. I went weeks without water in the bathroom while they fixed countertops. Me and my kids had to leave the home for almost 2 months because of the fumes. Like, I've just went through a lot in this unit. And I don't mind paying rent, and she know that. But however, it was nothing never done about anything in there. The electricity flickers every day. Every day. All the stove, the refrigerator, the microwave, everything was old. when I moved in there, I told her it smelled like roaches in there, but it was an emergency move for the safety for my kids.
Yeah, I understand.
So,
All right. So let me just break down just some of the things that you had mentioned. So let's first talk about this situation where you lost food. How did you lose food? Why did you lose food?
because the electricity was bad, it kept clashing with the refrigerator or something. They had
And,
to
and
in the breaker box. I'm sorry.
when was this? When did you lose this food?
Oh, I want to say I moved in April, so April, May, June, probably July, because
Okay.
it took them a while to get me a refrigerator and to fix the breaker box.
And how long did you not have a refrigerator?
Um, for almost 3, 4 months. The refrigerator was there, but it kept going bad. Like the refrigerator kept going out, so I kept losing my food.
So you had a refrigerator, but you're saying it wasn't sufficiently cooling,
Right, it wasn't properly working.
right? And then when did it start working?
Um, I want to say she brought me a new refrigerator in August.
Okay. And that's just 2025, correct?
Yes,
Yeah. And then you said that there was no water in the kitchen.
yes, I went approximately 3 weeks without water in the kitchen because they had to come in twice and fix the countertops. So each time it was approximately 3 weeks.
Okay. And you had no water just in the kitchen or just in the whole home?
And what the first time it was in the whole home because they did the bathroom. We had to leave because of the fumes. The second time the guy he came in, he was very efficient. Um, so we went without water, I want to say for like a week. But the third time is when they actually had to come in. It was a leak going down into another unit. They had to come in and fix it, and they just now fixed the hole to that. I want to say Monday or Tuesday. No, Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Okay. All right. And so what about the water in the bathroom?
So I only
Or
would
was that within the same periods that you just?
right. It was in the same period.
So in totality, how many weeks do you, or months or do you anticipate you or that you're saying that you didn't have any water?
Approximately 2 months.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
And the months that you didn't have water, can you tell me?
Um, we basically had to like go bathe at my mom's house, eat over there or eat out.
And then you said you were also had to leave the property because of fumes for a couple of months.
The fumes from them fixing the countertops.
Okay. And when was that?
Um, hmm, I think that was I want to say in July or
Okay.
August, and then they came back again at the end of the year, and she had someone new to fix it. And then this last thing where the leak was going on was just within the last month.
Okay. All right. All right. So Ms. Goodrich, tell me, I just want to give you an opportunity to respond to these things.
So regarding the leak was from when they received notices that they were supposed to let their water drip so the pipes don't break. So Miss Fluellen did call and said that there was a leak. I scheduled somebody to come out there, but the vendor um he wasn't showing up. And it wasn't until that I seen Miss Fluellen driving past and I said, did he come and fix it? Then she said, no, he never came and fixed it. So then I called them. They said, okay, we're going to be out tomorrow. They didn't come out tomorrow. So then I spoke to their corporate. They ended up sending somebody out. Um, that was within the same week. Because first I had my maintenance come and check to make sure that we even needed a plumber to correct the issue. But however, with us patching up the area, that was never reported that it needed to be patched. I was under the impression that the issue was under the sink. It is not until I do quarterly inspections. So I do inspections every 4 months. I'm sorry, every 3 months. And it's not until I just did my inspection on Wednesday in her unit that her unit even looked like that. So when I did see that it was like that, she was on the phone with her daughter. I said, okay, I'm going to schedule this to get fixed. I scheduled it the next, I think 2 days later to get fixed. Regarding her food, our company, they are willing to give her a concession for that because she has been having issues with that refrigerator and the breaker. That has been an issue. So she is completely, nothing's wrong with that complaint. She was complaining. Her first complaint was actually in May regarding the her refrigerator, and she has went to corporate, and corporate, I'm sad to say, they didn't accommodate her.
Anything.
Yeah, they didn't accommodate her, and then she was coming to tell me how she was losing food, how she did tell me she was losing food. She did tell me that she had to eat out. That is completely correct. But however, it's not up to me to approve that. And then I don't know what the other issue was.
Okay. So you've seen the condition of the property. There's some photographs I have in the file, but you've recently seen it within the last 30 days of some of the issues that she's speaking of with the pipes and things of that nature.
Well, the last 30 days, the only issue was the pipe. She hasn't reported any breaker or refrigerator issues since we replaced it.
Okay, I understand. All right, I understand.
Mhm.
Oh, all right. Well, those are significant impacts, Ms. Fluellen. Is there any amount that you allege you should get, I guess, a credit for these failings of I guess repair by the landlord?
Yes, I feel like I'm not trying to get out of paying rent, but I can give them half, like, because I went through this for a whole year, like, of mishaps. And
Okay.
it's been consistently every month.
Yeah. Well, listen, I do agree that there needs to be some type of concession in lieu of the fact. I understand many of the things may have been resolved, but these are just ongoing issues. And so that becomes a concern. It's also a concern for me that, how she got even notice of the hearing. That's a whole nother issue, but I don't think that that's a specific motion hasn't been made for that. So I'm going to look at the case in a sense of its the merits of the defenses. I'll be honest with you, Ms. Fluellen, you haven't paid rent. That is a breach. That is going to entitle them to get a writ of possession in 7 days. But as far as the money is concerned, losing food and having 3 children in and of itself is a great loss. Food is expensive, it's scarce, and then having to go get other things and just having that inconvenience and frustrating and coming home to find that your food is no longer there and spoiled and you have to go get others is a major inconvenience. So though there would have been a money judgment originally for near $4,800, we're going to reduce this down essentially to $1,450, 1 month's rent. Okay.
Thank you.
And we're going to do that because there was value. You did live there, you did sleep there, but obviously there were some significant impediments to your quiet enjoyment of the property. But it will be a writ of possession on the 7th. That'll be that $1,450 judgment, and that'll be the order of the court. I'll get you guys a copy. You both are free to go.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you guys are blessed. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Take a brief recess. We're right here too.